Continuing with our breaking news coverage in Austin, we have former FBI agent Bob Foley with us today to give us some insights to bombing. So good morning, Bob.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much for joining us. I mean, this is the big story today, the latest explosion. And let's start by talking about, there were numerous types of evidence used to get this guy. There was cell phone data, there were surveillance photos, there was also receipts. So talk about how investigators pieced this all together.
That's correct. The breaking point in this case was the one package that was at the federal FedEx facility. That package had not exploded, so investigators were able to render it safe, and from that point determine the implements that were used to put the bomb together. Tangentially with that, they were able to determine where the bomb was dropped off, and then from there, using video, using cell phone trackers, were able to identify his location.
Right. And, there was one really big break in this case, and that was, police were able to use the unexploded bomb to help them, correct? Absolutely.
It was a significant event in the development of the case. From that unexploded package, they were able to determine the components that were used, the DNA that might have been as part of putting the package together, to include fingerprints and fibers, and all of that stuff helps to identify who the bomber would have been.
Right. And talk about the fact that there have just been so many explosions and bombings in Austin. Talk about that. What's the significance of that?
Well, of course, the idea of the explosions is to terrorize the community. And that puts everybody on edge. It puts them on alert, and it causes a significant amount of trauma within the community.
Right. And the Austin police chief actually said there could be more bombs like this out there. How should people go about their day? Should people be vigilant?
They should. Living in that scenario, in that environment, he had 24 hours within which to send other packages off or place other packages in different locations. For example, one of the packages was placed by a fence with a tripwire. It's very possible that packages like that could still be out there.
Right, and talk about how police are trying to track those down. What are they doing?
Well, of course, like all of these types of events, heavily relying on the public to keep a lookout for items in strange places, things that seem like they don't belong, and calling 911 and alerting police to those types of sightings.
Very good tips there. And what we know so far about the bomber, he is 24 years old. He's a white male. Talk about the profile of a bomber. What did you see from this guy?
Well, one of two possibilities. He could have some animosity toward a particular group, particular person. He could just be in a situation where he's looking to make a statement. Or the other possibility is that he has some agenda that he's trying to advance, either political, social, religious, or whatever the case may be. In either case, a madman who is looking to destroy lives by putting his aggression out there based upon whatever his particular views are.
Right. And talk about, is there a message for people here in Southwest Florida? Because these bombings have been happening in Texas, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen anywhere.
It does not. We live in a post-9/11 world where it's very important to be situationally aware, to know your surroundings, and most importantly, if you see something, say something.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Really
Thank you for having me.
No problem.